Hey, what's going on, everyone? Kyle here. The You Know I Got Soul in Stereo podcast is back, and we've got a whole reunion going on. We've got Ed here. We've got Tom. What's going on, guys?
It's been a minute, player. What's up?
I'm just over here with my sandwich and a soda.
Oh, God.
I'm
sure Tamia's tastes much better than yours.
And we've got a special guest in the house today. He's actually been on the podcast before, but you know he was placed on that Remy Ma Fat Joe album. He has a song on there, so we got to bring our boy back, Gaetano. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Kyle, I just have to stop you real quick. I just had a flashback of the time you came to New York and met Gaetano, and you guys were arguing about Tank for like an hour in my apartment. Flashback.
We sure
I
were.
missed this convo. What was this about?
Let's not go there. Let's not.
I think we were ranking the vocalists from TGT. I think that's what was going on, right, Gaetano?
Oh yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. You know, Tank sings circles around those guys. It's not even a competition. Let's just get that out of the bag.
Wait a minute. Didn't we find you later on in the evening wearing a tank top somewhere out in the city?
Oh, jeez. Come on, don't do that to me.
A tank top.
Nah.
You know whose payroll this player is on.
It was Atlantic Records promo material. We're just supporting our boy.
We went to that Stronger release party, and they were tossing out tank tops like freebies.
Yeah, quality clothing there.
Player, I can make a comment about Stronger and quality, but I am chilling in the corner.
Let's get back on track.
Well, speaking of freebies, I remember when I was with Tom, we visited RCA Records, and they were giving out freebies as well, and they gave me an ASAP Rocky T-shirt.
And you took it.
So,
and you took it.
Cool. Awesome.
Gee, cool. Come on, man. Come on. I forgot Gaetano was a lot younger. These kids.
Yep. But anyways, guys, before we get into what we have to get into, can I just take a moment right now? I got to admit something to you guys.
Oh, no.
So
it's a safe space, player. Come with it.
Yep. So with the Chris Brown tour coming, you know, he's going on the road with 50 Cent and Fabolous. I took the time and went back and listened to some of my favorite Fabolous records. Of course, you have Breathe. You have The Joints with Little Mo. Can't Let You Go is one of my favorites. And then I stumbled upon Into You. Now, as a huge Ashanti fan from even back in the day, I was always biased, and I was always like Ashanti's version of that song is better than Tamia's. So I just pretended like Tamia's version didn't exist. I went on YouTube the other day, and I listened to Tamia's version for the first time in like 15 years. It's alright. I would say it's at least on par with Ashanti's. How about that?
Oh my goodness!
I think it's very good that we are separated by about 10,000 miles. Because if you say it that garbage to my face, how can you say that Ashanti's version, who sounds like she is mid-sleep as she's delivering her verses, sounds better than Tamia, who not only originated the song, but sounds 10,000 times better? Come on, Kyle. I know we've been a minute apart, but you haven't lost that much sense.
You even know what happened, Kyle? They had Ashanti on the single. Next thing you know, they just ripped her out of the song and put Tamia in her place and acted like nothing happened. It was pretty amazing at the time.
And they act like there was a reason for that. Because on the album, it was horrible.
Oh, you guys are hating.
Nah, I'll just say one thing. Those Aaliyah types of the world, they were real special during that time period because I think you could come up during that time and get away with a lot as an artist. You know what I mean? Now it's like, you got to be a one-man kind of artist. You got to really do it all on your own if you don't have that label support. So it's really up to you to make your big splash.
Wait a minute. Are you saying Aaliyah? Is that an Aaliyah diss? I don't understand.
You could please don't.
Wait.
No, go ahead before I jump in. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
I meant to say Ashanti. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I got confused.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because I thought you were comparing Ashanti to Aaliyah, and I was about to wow. Out.
Nah.
Wait, hold on. So we're just gonna sit here and diss Ashanti, and everyone's just gonna be like, "Oh, okay." No, that's not how we're doing it.
Yes. Yes, that's what we're doing. Unless we're talking about Instagram.
I'm not
But
dissing
yes,
Ashanti. I like Ashanti.
I'm not dissing her, but I think if she was trying to come out now, it wouldn't even be, possible.
And my wife will tell you, I'm a huge Ashanti fan for her time and for her singing. She does have some very fun singles. But we are not going to front in 2017 like that woman had Whitney Houston vocals. It was not happening. She had great production, and she knew how to ride some songs, but sometimes she got exposed with the quickness.
Man. So, aside from the Ashanti news and my personal stuff, I want to get into some current events right now, guys. First off, we love our R&B groups, especially from the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So of course, we have Xscape, who shockingly announced that they will be coming back with new music. All the original members, including Kandi. We didn't think this day would ever come, but they're back together.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Listen, I am a huge Xscape fan. The cynic in me makes me wonder why suddenly the two members who were always against the reunion, who was Tiny and Kandi, suddenly want to hop back in the studio now that one of them got divorced or whatever they're doing with T.I. So that's just me going, and stroking the chin. But if this produces some decent music, hey, let's go with it. It's been way too long. They had 3 albums, and all the albums went platinum. They basically retired on top. So there could be some gas in the tank.
May I make a comment real quick? Now,
That's what we're here for.
Here's my thought. I don't really know too many of these groups that have made like tremendous comebacks, like from a musical standpoint. I think what it's about is them dropping a project, creating hype, creating buzz, getting the marketing going, and then it's not probable that music's gonna be great. It's gonna be probably alright at best, because they'll never be able to match what they had in the past, right? And then off that hype, what they'll do is they'll go on tour, and they'll use the album as a means to get on tour and make money. It's the opposite from back in the day. Like now, you put out an album to promote your tour, and back in the day, you used to do tours to promote your album. So that's the way
100%.
Music has turned right now, and it's really crazy now that I just thought of that.
Were you listening to our previous podcast, man?
Agree.
You were taking notes on my previous podcast, weren't you? Damn. It's like line for line.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I listen to you guys all the time, man. I'm a big fan. I listen to you.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking, but that's what we talk about all the time. Like that you recognize that, because people don't even recognize that. That, and Charlie Wilson just expertly pulled that off with his latest album. Went on tour and just put the album out just so he could keep staying on tour. So, yeah, right. You're right on track.
Yep. Now, of course, Xscape is, for the most part, associated with Jermaine Dupri. Do you think they need Jermaine, JD, in order for this to be successful, Tom?
I think it would only be right that he came back in the mix, and I have a strong feeling he will, but, I don't think they necessarily need him. But even what is really even considered a success anymore? I mean, if they sold 5,000 copies, it's just so hard these days to determine what's successful or not, because music's not selling, So if they can get a tour together, I consider that a success no matter how the music sounds.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. If they come out with a halfway decent single that gets a little bit of spins, let's just be honest, the likelihood of them dropping a single that's going double platinum and giving us an album that goes triple is very unlikely in 2017 for anybody. I mean, freaking Beyonce doesn't do that. But the point is, if they can put out something that can turn some heads, get some attention, get some authentic music that sounds like Xscape and not sounds like Bryson Tiller or whatever, Future or whatever, if you get some authentic stuff that recaptures your fan base and get some folks wanting to go on tour and listen to you sing My Little Secret and old stuff, then you did it.
You know what I'm always reminded of when these groups or artists make a comeback is when Kyle a few years ago interviewed Blue Cantrell. And in the interview,
Yep.
don't laugh. She said that her album was going to come out and immediately go platinum or something, or she's going straight back to the top.
Oh wow.
And I didn't laugh, but I was like, damn, these artists just really don't have an understanding of what's going on right now. I mean, there's just no way.
Oh, I would have laughed.
Come on.
Long time soul and stereo users know me and my Blue Cantrell history, so yeah, I would have laughed.
Jeez.
I really like some of her music though. No lie, like that song she has. Sleep.
Oh, I
She's
love it.
talented. She's talented.
Sleep in the Middle was such a good
Yeah, her
song.
first album is incredible.
Really good vocalist. Like she's really, really fucking dope.
No, I didn't mean it to make fun of her. I more so meant it to like show that these artists have like a fabricated view of how the industry really is. It's so hard to just
They're
Right.
they're out of
Come
back
Tom.
and go-
Simply, they're out of
no one's
they're out of
going platinum.
touch. They're out of touch.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Well, you gotta think. You gotta remember one thing. Like a lot of them had mega success in the past, so they think it's always going to be there. Some of them haven't accepted the reality that like it's not the way it used to be 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
hmm Now, another group is finally going to come out with a project. It seems like we've been waiting for a couple of years now. TLC, they did a Kickstarter, got a lot of money, and then they sort of went silent. I was actually going to have to call the cops on them because they probably took some of my money too.
Damn.
I was getting offended, but they actually put out a statement saying that their album is coming out, Tom, I believe in May, right?
Yeah, I believe they said this summer. I didn't see the actual date, but yeah, it's this summer they put the statement out. So you're right, though. We were waiting over 2 years. They got over $400,000 to contribute in the Kickstarter, and we hadn't heard anything. And yeah, people were upset. I think. You know, I always check like T-Boz and Chili's Twitter, and they hadn't really even mentioned too much about it. So, but we finally got word, so that'll be good for sure.
Well, I'm just glad that y'all money ain't going to waste because I ain't putting a dime to it. I love them, but I'm like, I need to see some singles or some kind of movement before I start giving y'all checks and you jump the border. So good for them for saying that they're going to give us something by the summer, but I will let the music speak for itself.
Yeah, but Ed, let me ask you something. Ed and Gaetano, even Kyle, why do they even need our money? One of the most successful groups of all time. Are you telling me they're broke? Really?
You know
Because
what?
it's not even about being broke. I mean, if the the 4 of us wanted to drop an album between the 4 of us, we could probably drop an album in 2017. That's why I was like not on board with this Kickstarter thing.
Right.
Exactly.
So
So
I'm saying
what do they
is,
need the money for anyway?
it's almost shameful that to see them have to do that, in my opinion, because it's like, it's almost, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like an insult almost to people. You're talking one of the most highly selling groups of all time.
But in their defense, I will say this. I mean, they could put out any old junk, but I'm sure because, as Gaetano was talking earlier, they're used to a certain level of production. They want to get the highest name producers. They want to get the best studio equipment. So that's probably what the money's going to go to. But again, I'll let y'all do that one. I got bills.
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question. I didn't hear too much about this story, but it's been making headlines lately. Apparently, Drew Hill did not get the bulk of their royalties from like a court hearing. Have you guys heard of that story?
Oh, yes.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
I did. There's been quite a few pieces about that.
Ed stays in the gossip side, so not me.
What's the latest on that? Because I seen the headlines. I didn't get to read it yet. I was just curious if any of you guys, had your ear to the streets or whatever. Ed, sounds like you know a thing or two about the story.
I keep up with it, but again, you always have to wonder about the sources because some of the sources I saw weren't really the most reputable.
Right.
But the word that's going on in the internet streets the past week was that, as you said, it was a ruling that Drew Hill won't be getting any royalties, so pretty much all those songs you love, they ain't getting paid for it. That was the long and short of it.
Yeah. So that's
That's
why
the music industry.
I wouldn't be surprised if, somehow, some way they didn't have, that much money. You know what I'm saying? You never know what kind of stipulations were buried in their contract.
Yeah, but come on, man. Drew Hill compared to TLC in terms of sales. I'm talking about sales, not talent, like album sales.
Nah,
You know?
But even so, how long can they really live off their nest egg? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but TLC probably gets about
No.
at least $50K a show, if you think about it.
Well, that's true, but again, remember when the last album they dropped was? I mean, freaking 2002. When was that last album? And that was forever ago. That money, I'm sure, is eaten up. But besides that, I don't think that. Well, I would hope, giving these folks the benefit of the doubt, that this isn't just pocket money. This is because they want to create. I don't think they're signed to anybody. So this is something where they want to get the biggest name producers and the best sound to match their lofty status.
Right.
And I think that's where the money, the quest for money is coming from.
No, they don't
I don't know.
into
If
their
y'all
best
see them
things.
pushing a new car, then that's on y'all.
But you see, the thing is, they haven't been touring, and I think that's the real problem. All these years, they haven't really done shows, so they don't have a stream of income. I mean, that's logical.
Right.
But why haven't they been touring, though? They can tour.
Well, Tom, they need. They make money elsewhere. I didn't mean to cut you off, but remember last year there was this episode on I forget which TV network it was, but T-Boz was talking to the spirit of Left Eye.
Oh,
That's
my
how they
goodness.
make their income. Which, by the way, Bobby Brown is going to be.
God.
Bobby Brown's going to be on that as well. They showed a preview of it. I believe he's going to be speaking to Whitney Houston's spirit. So you guys make sure you tune into that.
I'll make sure that I do not tune in. To that.
Oh, come on, Ed. You love this stuff.
Yeah. Now, we all love, like I said, we all love our 90s R&B groups, right? Especially the female groups. I want to do a little pop quiz with you guys, if I can.
Go
One
for
of
it.
you guys,
I'm with it, player.
Okay.
one of you guys, name me the members of 702.
Oh.
Each
Oh,
member.
come on.
Well, I know one of them because I
Niche.
had a show with her once.
Which one of you got?
Well, we all know Mila,
Mila.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't sound like
Mila?
Gaetano knew Mila there.
Yeah.
No, it's Mila. It's Irish,
I had
who
to
was
show
the
her a few
finest.
times, actually. But she's
Who?
the only one I knew
Oh,
from
so
the group.
Okay, so we have Lamisha, Irish, Camila,
Oh.
and there's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Mila,
Yeah.
Irish, and Lamisha. And then Orish was the random other one that
Oh,
I think she passed away.
Right.
Okay. All right, so that was kind of pathetic, guys. We named 1 out of 3. Let's do one more.
No,
pop
Glad you didn't ask
That's
me.
tough.
I knew them all. No, I know Irish.
Alright, what's the next one?
Is there a next one, or is that the only one? Do we lose Kyle? All right, well, Kyle comes back. Ed,
Yo.
why don't you name the members of Changing Faces?
Player, you lost me on that.
Come on,
I know
man.
it's 2 of them.
Damn.
You know the members of Changing Faces. And I love Changing Faces. I can't remember their names.
Cassandra, I think it is, and I interviewed Cassandra. Come on,
I can see them both clearly in my mind's eye, but I do not remember their names. Shout out to Changing Faces. I love both of y'all, but I don't remember y'all names.
Kyle. We
I'm
continue
back.
the trivia without you.
It's all good, but I actually had one in mind. This is going to the 2000s era. You guys ready for this one?
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm not going to get it if it's in the 2000s era, but go ahead.
ISIS.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Jeez.
Does
not gonna
ISIS remember who was in their own group?
Nope.
Probably not. Anywho, I want to
Shout out to ISIS, though. I did like their first album. Their first album was alright.
No, they were. Yeah, they had some solid songs.
Yeah, they had a couple of joints.
Mhm. So I want to quickly go on to some other things. Being that Ed is on the show, we obviously got to talk about VA's very own Chris Brown. Billboard actually put out an article recently talking about the downward spiral of Chris Brown's career and how he's doing various things and he's hurting other people and all that stuff. Ed, please defend your boy.
You will get no defense if you come from, like, family. You always got to go hardest for family, so I'm going to go hardest on my cousin. And I'm going to tell you right here, publicly for the world to hear, the reason why we have gotten this deep and this bad with old cousin Chris is because of hangers-on and yes men and weirdos and people not stepping up to say, dude, chill out. You're seeing the same thing with Kanye. It's these artists who are out of control and these celebrities and their peers that are defending them. I think on a couple podcasts ago we discussed this, about how I had conversations with known artists on Twitter going back and forth. If you guys remember, this was like 5 or 6 years ago, when he had that interview at ABC and got pissed and threw a chair out the window of some like studio. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
These artists were saying, well, they should have known not to ask him these questions. It's just going to make him mad. Well, let me tell you something. How many times are you mad at your job? Are you going to get justified by throwing a chair out of your office window? No, you get fired. Interviews are part of an artist's job because it's part of their image and it's part of what they do. And if they don't have the maturity to rein it in, that's on them. It's about time that somebody puts these dudes in check. And when they don't happen, you see them spiraling out of control. That's what's happening to your boy. Plus, your music is trash, so step your game
Jeez.
up there.
You really got to question someone. You really got to question someone who disses their own family member, but that's another topic for another time. Gaetano, are you a fan?
You know what? I think Chris Brown's pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he hasn't always been in the best public image, so to speak, but can't deny the man's talent. You know, I've always fucked with his music, so he's cool, man.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, let's get into it then, Tom. We had a special topic for today, and since we're talking about Chris Brown and his bad behavior, I think Gaetano wanted to share some of his bad behavior in the music industry. So, Tom,
bad behavior. Let me introduce this segment first of all. So you all you guys know, I met Gaetano backstage at some sweaty venue where he was doing a show, and I was like some media guy he was forced to introduce himself to, so we would cover his music. But realistically, we became friends, and he's been on this journey in music, and he's had some success, and it's been great supporting him. He shared some of his stories with me. They've been pretty interesting about his meetings with labels and his interactions with artists and producing for artists and stuff like that. But the best story I've heard from Gaetano was when he was trying out for Making the Band, and he lost out to Donnie Klang. Is this true?
This is true.
Donnie Klang, one of Ed's favorite artists of all time. But
Yeah, him and cousin Chris, boy, my favorites.
Tell us about how it all went down, Gaetano.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those New York auditions in the ice cold. I'll never forget it. It sucked. I believe it was SIR Studios. Yes, it was actually. Joe Thomas was one of the judges. It was Joe Thomas and Laurie Ann Gibson. I definitely remember that. And some other non-known person. And I sang Boyz II Men, actually. And I did it really well. And they basically were really impressed and everything. And, we did some more singing rounds and shit. And then there was this dancing round. And, I knew I wasn't doing that good. Because, I'm not naturally a dancer. I'm actually a musician. I play guitar and piano. But that wasn't really part of what they were looking for. So Donnie Klang was a way better dancer. So
damn,
that was that.
He had better hair than you too, right?
Much better hair.
Where's he at these days anyway?
It was a good experience though, because what's crazy about it? Last year I did a show with Willie Taylor, and it was in Canada actually, and I wrote an article about this called "How I Got Booked for an International Show Without Trying," and it was basically because I was following the principles of just serving the fans to the best of my ability, and not really chasing like the big events. You know, I was just really cultivating like an organic interest in what I was doing. And the booking agents for that show found me like through social media, through like Instagram, I think. And they were serious about it. They're like, yeah, you know, we'll pay for your accommodations and everything. You know, we got Willie Taylor and like some other. Oh, Tom, you know the other dude too. Maurice, what's his name, Tom?
Who's that?
Maurice, the talented kid from Canada that you feature on your site.
Maurice Moore. Yeah, Maurice Moore.
Maurice Moore, yeah. He was the other guy that did the show. Yeah, it was a really good show. We all went out after and everything. Like we were getting drunk as hell at some like weird club in Montreal. It was crazy.
Nice.
But yeah, that was pretty much the story there.
Nice. Ed, you were a fan of that show, right?
I'll have to catch that one on YouTube.
No, I mean making the band.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to catch that one on YouTube. The show was fine. I think that it's one of those things that hasn't aged as well as I remember it, because at the time I was like, oh, this show was dope, but I've gone back and seen like, it's more good for memes these days. But it would have been a great launching pad, no question.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I applaud you for getting that far in the process. But it's not like most of the band dudes have really blown. A few of them have like gone to make some good inroads though.
Well,
so
Willie Taylor's doing.
Good props to anybody that's starting to make a little bit of strides.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like Willie Taylor's doing this thing. He's still putting out really good music.
Yeah.
Actually. I like one of his most recent mixtapes. You know, it did sound like Eric Bellinger though. I know Tom, you're very.
Oh my goodness.
I know, boy. Tom, you were really feeling that that last project you put out.
Yeah. Listen, man, I have nothing against Eric Bellinger. It's just not for me, you know.
Nah, I thought you really said that you liked one of his most recent projects.
Oh, you must have been talking to a different Tom.
Eric Bellinger,
damn.
He's fine player. Give him a break.
No, I'm not dissing the guy. It's just not for me, man. You know, it's not my taste.
Cuffing Season was like a really dope project. The songwriting on that was pretty ill. Production was fire too. Not fun.
It is funny though when I listen to an album, especially when I'm about to review it. Sometimes I'll shoot Tom a message and be like, "This is a great album, but it is not a Tom album."
Right.
So Ed, you must be a diehard Eric Bellinger fan, since I don't really listen to him, because you're the opposite of me on everything.
Pretty much everything, especially food, because I like stuff that has
especially food. Man.
Hey guys,
all right,
I have one question for you guys, real quick. What do you think of that female artist that's like a ghost, or she goes by her?
Oh no.
What is this?
Oh, we talk about her all the time here.
Really?
Yeah, we love.
I'll summarize it like
there's like
this.
a him character now. What is going on?
Oh boy.
Oh god. No. Now I will go. I got some bars for him, but actually I'm a big fan of her.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
We love her. Well, Ed and I love her. Tom does not love her. I don't think Tom likes him either.
Well, him, Gaetano, just so you know, him was actually launched by a friend of ours who also runs another music website. I'll have to fill you in offline.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
You don't ask, but we actually featured her in our countdown for top songs of the year a couple times.
Oh, cool.
I don't even like to call it her. It's Gabby Wilson, you know.
Exactly.
So that's our thoughts, but speaking of music industry tricks, Gaetano, you've been through some meetings with labels and stuff. That's another story I'd like to hear from you. Tell us about the time you went into like label meetings and how those things went, because it's always interesting to hear behind the scenes how those things happen.
Yeah, like this was pretty crazy actually. I'm not gonna name names. I'm just gonna make up fake names, I think. But
no, I think you should name names.
Really? I mean, fuck it. You know. Okay.
No, don't name names. You can name a label, but don't name names.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna call out a specific person. I think that'd be kind of dickheadish, actually.
Like Paul Williams, don't call him out.
Yeah. But anyway, it was when I put out my Fade Away project in 2014. There's one song off that project that caught some people's attention. It was called Speak on My Guitar. It was a really popular record. And it was unique because it was just guitar and vocals, that's it. And then like there was some piano layers on top of like the hook and stuff. And some arpeggios from a xylophone, which is pretty cool. There's not a lot of records with xylophone arpeggios in them. But
Jeez.
yeah, so a friend of mine knew a powerful lawyer in LA and sent him like my press kit with like that record and like some recent mention of it, blah blah blah. And he hit me up, and let's just say he had the same last name as a very very sexy woman in the acting industry. Let's just say that. And
All right.
Can we all can we take a stab at this?
Sure.
All right, Tom, name a sexy
I don't
actress.
watch. First of all, I don't watch movies, so I have no idea. I literally don't watch any movies.
I guess Tom's
Ed?
not gonna guess.
Barry?
Nope.
Jeez.
Give us
I don't know,
some.
Blair. I kind of went for the pinnacle right there. I don't know.
All right, just
All
moving
right,
on.
Well, moving on. So he calls me and stuff, and we're talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, I really love the record." You know, he was like telling me about different directions we could go musically if like we decided to work together. He was like, telling me, yeah, it was dope that I have like the Robin Thicke vibe. He wanted to go that kind of route, real organic sound, kind of like Alan Stone, like Robin Thicke, kind of like a natural sound with some falsettos and stuff, kind of just real smooth. And so the next thing he did was he set me up with a meeting, a lawyer scheduled it with an A&R at Atlantic in the urban department. Just put it that way. And so I went in, I had my guitar, I played some records, played some joints. He was like, "Oh yeah, you dope. You call some other people in here," and he called like, I don't even know who these people were. He called mad people in there. Honestly, that's how it was. Like, it was weird. Like, I remember this is time you're going to die laughing at this. Like, I remember, like, walking through those glass doors and like, this guy who was, like, really out of place at the front office desk, like, he was just really just like, you can, like, have a seat over there and we'll call you ready. And, like, he was, like, so out of place, like, I can see it. He was like Garth from fucking Wayne's World. That's exactly who it was like. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So then, like, the dude comes out of the back, of course, it's like 45 minutes late. My bad, bro. I was at the meeting. Shit was crazy. Good to meet you. Good. Like that. I'm like, all right.
Oh, boy.
Wait 45 minutes, whatever. So we go into, like, this room, right? And he's like, yeah, give me your phone, man. Let me play some records, right? So I give him the phone. He hooks it up to his stereo, and of course, their stereo system's all fucked up. Like, they got all this money and they can't have, like, a good working stereo equipment. It was just, like, comical. I'm like, wow, it's really happening. Like, 30 minutes go by and he still couldn't even play my record. Then finally, like, we got it to work or whatever. We play a bunch of joints and, oh, yeah, he's dope. Keep playing more, he's dope. Then, like, he called some other people in and, like, some more people were listening to the joints. And then I had my acoustic and I played some joints. And then we were just talking some more. And then he was like, yo, it'd be dope if I get you in the studio with, like, CeeLo. I got a whole bunch of people working on projects, you know what I mean? I can just get you in the studio working with them, see how you work. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm not trying to get signed right now. I'm just really trying to build. I was real humble about it. I wasn't even, like, pressing the issue, really. So he was like, yeah, man, we gonna talk. And I left. And then, like, a week went by, I didn't hear from him. 2 weeks went by, I saw, like, a follow-up then, like, hey man, just, it was good meeting you, blah, 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 just seeing what you try to do, whatever. 3 weeks go by, a month goes by, a month and a half goes by, I didn't hear from him. Then I hit up the lawyer, I was like, yo, what happened? And, like, I didn't even hear nothing. He was like, oh yeah, he said he couldn't work with you right now, but he would let you know, like, if you want to work with you in the future. I was like, oh,
Jeez.
alright. and just like that, it was over, right? And here's the funny thing: like a week later, I saw him at Webster Hall, like Webster Hall, like an event, and like he definitely knew that like I was there. Like I definitely had like made like a eye contact at him, you know what I mean? And like it was just like that. Like I didn't exist. You know what I mean? That's just how it was. That's how it is now. So like, yeah, that's how they do. That's how they do things.
It's pretty much the music industry in a nutshell.
Gaetano, if you wanted to throw a chair out the window just because of that, I would have been okay with it.
I mean,
throwing the chair out the window might have helped in that moment, actually.
You know
it might have added to your swag and credibility.
You know what?
You would have been signed on the spot.
I was just astounded by the lack of professionalism. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you know, like music is the only business really where people are so rude that like they can't even get back to you. It's just you'll get totally ignored. Like there's no other business industry out there that does that.
None. And it's crazy. The more that I learn about the inner workings of the business, I learned that like freaking Soul and Stereo is more professional and organized than the biggest labels ever. When I get contacts from artists and they're like publicists, I'm like, good Lord, dog. I could do better than this for you.
Yo, Kyle, he must have not have listened to our last podcast where we mentioned how one artist kept both of us waiting in McDonald's for over 2 hours to get an interview.
I did.
Speaking of industry professionalism,
wasn't it Mario?
Hey, easy. We're not going to call anyone out. I'm just saying. That's how it goes in the industry. You know.
I think it was.
They don't care. It was one of Kyle's all-time favorites. That's all I'm going to say.
It's not Mario. That's a different story. This particular artist, in 2016, all he wanted to be was true. But I guess all he wanted for us to do was wait at McDonald's. So
damn.
It's all good though.
I think all he wants to do is sit on the side of waterfalls with his shirt off.
Shirt off? He was naked, man. Come on.
I wasn't looking down there, player. You can tell me that if you want.
No, that was mentioned in the press release. That's the only reason I know.
Guys, let's leave Lloyd alone. Wait, we're not supposed
to
mention his name. Oops.
Lloyd.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right.
We got a couple of albums coming out in March, right, Tom?
We got 4 albums lined up, unless I missed one. But Motown's putting out Kevin Ross's debut and also LaPortia Renee's debut. She's from American Idol. And then we also got Trey Songz, one of your all-time favorites, and we got Leela James, one of Ed's all-time favorites.
I can't believe, is this Kevin Ross's debut?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's strange.
Kevin Ross. Yeah, he has. A Troy Taylor disciple.
Yep. And he actually hit #1 on Urban AC last week, so perfect time for the album to come out. Shoutouts to him.
So those will all drop later this month, actually. So. And can I just add one? Can I add one thing about what we've got going on currently?
Yep.
So we recently added our podcast to SoundCloud, and hopefully more people can access it that way. And I just want to shout out Gaetano while he's here. The guy's an SEO expert, and he's given us a lot of tips along the way. He's really helped us keep things more streamlined behind the scenes so we can reach more people, so we appreciate you for that.
Oh, yeah, man. No problem. No problem at all.
Ed was already deep in the SEO game before we were, so he didn't share his tips, though.
Yep.
Oh, really, Ed? That's what's up.
Man, a magician can't give away all his secrets.
Yeah. I will say this. I know Ed's content, like, I see that it's very well optimized for the most part. There's always good keyword targeting, good word count, well structured, good links. I see you, Ed.
Oh, thank you, player. I do get paid to do that in real life, so I'm glad it's spilling over.
Yeah.
Joy. Yep. Along
all
with
these nerd terms being thrown around.
Along with the SoundCloud, we're also uploading it onto Google Play, so you can check it out there. It's actually under review right now, so I hope we don't. I mean, we don't swear on this podcast, so I think we should be able to get through. And then we're also on iTunes if you want to check us out.
I just ruined that for you because I realized I cursed so much this episode. My bad.
Is that really is that the deciding factor? I don't even know how we get approved, but
no, you're good, player. We all grown.
Yeah. Before we get out of here and get into the food discussion, I actually want to bring up some interesting news for those that don't know. Usher recently did a podcast with Questlove of The Roots, and he had mentioned that the Tevin Campbell song "Can We Talk" was initially for Usher, but apparently Babyface and L.A. Reid were going through their things at the time, and Babyface decided he didn't want to work with Usher anymore, and he gave it to Tevin Campbell.
And that was very interesting. I had not heard that story until you shared that with me a couple of days ago.
And then for some reason
Crazy.
about Usher, he's doing shows with The Roots. I found it weird. How did that even come together?
It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool.
I think it might be. I think he's probably maybe embracing his audience is getting older and maybe falls more in line with The Roots instead of hanging around with Young Thug and that other horrible album. Maybe he's taking it back to the essence. I ain't mad.
That's right.
Yeah. Anywho, let's quickly go into the food discussion. I know we got to get out of here. We ran a little late, but we should probably talk about some food, right?
That's what we do.
What's on your dinner table tonight, Gaetano?
Oh, there's this pizzeria right near me called Mangia's. And if you guys don't know what that means in Italian, it means eat. Mangiare.
Okay.
And I ordered a small pie, and it's got chicken cutlet and penne alla vodka on it. It's like so mind-blowingly good. Of course, I'm gonna probably gain a few pounds from eating it, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, that's not something I'd touch. If you don't listen to these podcasts, Gaetano, I'm very plain as I come. I usually eat yogurt for dinner.
Dude, you're like chicken fingers and fries.
No, chicken fingers. Come on, I wouldn't. I hate chicken fingers. I like plain grilled chicken. No
If
seasoning.
Tom ate chicken fingers, I would jump for joy. 'Cause he ain't touching no fried chicken fingers. Not at all.
No, he's not.
So what about you,
cakes?
Kyle? What cake?
Hey, let's talk about cake. We love cake. Tom, you eat.
Cake.
Come on, you eat cake.
Even I eat
'Cause,
cake.
you know
Come
what?
on, man.
It's my birthday in 3 days, so I got to figure out what type of cake I'm gonna get. So I want to hear from you guys. What's your favorite type of cake?
Well,
Cool. What do they even have in Canada? Do they have like the normal stuff, or do they have their own? Like, where do you even get it? Do you making a cake, or are you buying one?
Player is Canada, not Pluto. I'm pretty sure they got cake. It's not made out of like lumberjacks maple syrup.
Jeez, Ed, so vicious.
See, the reason why Tom is ridiculing Canada is because I told him yesterday. You guys remember that Melanie Fiona? Shout outs to Melanie Fiona, by the way. You remember her single "Give It to Me," right?
Yeah.
This is from back in I think 2010. 2010, but over here in Canada, that still stays in rotation, like on the popular radio stations. That's still in rotation.
Y'all like that song that much?
No, well, the reason for that is because in Canada there's a law where the radio stations have to play at least 30% of their playlist being from Canadian artists. So I guess because it's either Melanie Fiona, Drake, or Justin Bieber, they kind of have to force that song on the playlist. And I was telling Tom, prior to Drake and Justin Bieber blowing up, they were playing that Glenn Lewis "Don't You Forget It" song for like 10 years straight.
Wow.
Oh, Tom's gonna move up to Canada
Yeah,
now.
I might now. Come on, Ed. That's an amazing song. That's like a top 10 song of all
Sure
time.
It was of all time, homie. It might have been a top 10 song for 2003 or whenever it dropped.
If anyone's wondering why,
moved on.
if anyone's wondering why me and Ed are always arguing, it's because I blamed him and his Southerners for ruining hip hop, and he's mad at me for saying that.
Meanwhile, he's up north hanging with the great lyricist Puff Daddy and his Making of the Band show. So, please miss me with your comparisons. I'll stay down here with my Outkast and my Big Crit.
Anywho, I've decided on my birthday, I'm going to get ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
From Dairy Queen.
I'm kind of iffy on ice cream cake. I don't know how y'all are. Like, it's good, but it has to melt a little bit. Because when you just take it out the freezer, it's like eating a brick.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just throw it in the microwave for like 25 seconds, 30 seconds, you'll be good.
Playing eating a bowl of milk.
What? Oh, man. So, before we
Although
go,
I did find out at...
yeah.
Well, I was going to say, Tom, before... I just found out recently at Dairy Queen, they also have ice cream pie, since we're talking about pizza. They have ice cream pie.
I saw that.
Same thing, but it's just shaped like a pie.
I saw it.
Maybe I'll try that.
So, Ed, tell us what you got going on right now on the site.
Oh, it's been a minute since you guys have stepped by, so let me catch you up. Speaking of your boy Usher, a couple weeks ago we ranked his whole discography from top to bottom, so check out the site and see where your favorite Usher albums land. Spoiler alert, their most recent album is dead last. So
man.
there you go, in case that was keeping you up at night.
Jeez.
That's great.
So we've got that going on. Album reviews, we've got Fat Joe and Remy Ma's new album. I took a look at that. Lupe's album. That may be it for album reviews. Oh, and of course, Charlie Wilson's review. That's over on YouKnowIGotSoul.com. Check that out. That's one of the best albums of the year so far. And a piece that I've been working on forever and finally finished up. I have long said that the year 2006 was like the last best great year for hip hop and R&B. Now there've been good years for hip hop, good years for R&B, but 06 was the last year that was the year that, for as a total piece of work, hip hop and R&B really changed the trajectory. So I finally got that piece ready. Why 2006 was hip hop and R&B's last landmark year, and that one's gotten a lot of good feedback. So check that out and tell our brother what you think about that.
Throw that on the Facebook, Ed.
Yes, I'll do that.
Cool. What about you, Gaetano? What do you got going on? What do you got going on now these days? Besides, we mentioned the Fat Joe placement.
Yeah, I mean, besides the Fat Joe placement, I'm just really trying to think about what direction I want to go. I kind of want to turn my own website into like a content hub for like upcoming artists who want to learn how to, step up their game, get tips and advice and checklists and guides and shit like that. The other thing I was contemplating doing was a one cover per week challenge. I wouldn't put out any original music unless I do 1 year straight of covers, one new one per week.
I like the idea.
I just don't know if I can do it because it's so hard to do that.
Takes discipline.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline, man. Like, it's a job in itself, It's a lot of work. It's definitely not easy. So.
Right.
And speaking of and I said this privately, but it's always good to give players the flowers while they can smell it and say it publicly. Shout out to my man Gaetano for his pen game, because his articles are fantastic.
Absolutely.
If you're missing that, check those out, because from one journalist to another, I recognize the real.
Man,
he has some great insight on this industry.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Gaetano actually saved me a bunch of money. One day I decided I was going to be a rapper and go to one of those rapper showcases where I submit like $1,000.
Oh my God. And you exposed them for
Gaetano
us.
wrote an article. Oh, man. Like, guys, Gaetano, give them the link to your website so they can check out that article, because I think that article, amongst everything else, that's so important that people read that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could just go to officialgaetano.com and you'll find it there. I'm also on Twitter, Gaetano NYC, and Instagram, official Gaetano. But if you want to just search this company's name and find it, just search Google Coast to Coast Mixtapes. And I'm ranking page 1 for their own brand.
Jeez.
Man, you're just going to put them on blast like that.
Oh, yeah. They know what they know what they're doing.
Yep. Tom, what do we have going on? I got to. I know we all got to get out of here.
We got an interview coming up with Lewis York, Claude Kelly, and Chuck Harmony. Gaetano actually came through with me for that one. He knows producer Chuck Harmony, so that was cool. And then we just rolled out our interviews with Jazzy Jeff and Glenn Lewis about their Chasing Goosebumps album, which was pretty cool. And then I actually just created a Spotify playlist for what we felt were the top songs in R&B in February 2017. So we'll try to roll that out each month. So hopefully people could find a new way to discover the music they've been missing, because that's people's biggest problem right now, trying to find good music. So got to give them as many ways as they can find. So that's pretty much it for us.
Yep. Cool. And the last thing is we're trying to come up with an R&B, or not an R&B, I Got Soul theme song. I think RL wanted to do it. We'll see who else is willing to participate. We might need to get your productions and your vocals on there too, Gaetano, since you're on the Fat Joe album now.
Yeah. RL's nasty, yo. He's like so talented. I know he like supported you guys from the very beginning too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to RL. But guys, listen, we've run out of time, so we're gonna get out of here. Gaetano, thank you again for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's my pleasure.
For sure. Ed, thank you for joining us as well. I know off the air we got to talk about that Get Out movie.
Yes, player, we got to get in on that. Lots of conversation to be had there.
Yep. And Tom, we're gonna just keep this thing going. So, I got So in stereo here. I've got Kyle, got Tom, got Ed, got Gaetano as well, and we're out.
Peace.
All right.